my kitchen. Merry Christmas, also known as Buon Natale, Buon Natale. Yes, that's right, it's that time of year where we must start to think about making our Christmas cookie trays or our holiday cookie trays. And it was the most exciting time of the year. My entire family, well actually my mother and my grandmother, we would get in the car and drive to all the Italian markets in the city. That's right, the stores were crowded with other Italians buying for the same foods for their Christmas Eve and Christmas Day meals. At the fish market, my mom and my grandmother, they would sort out and look for all the Christmas Eve fish. That would be the eel, the bacalao, stoppavatan, the squid, the shrimp, the lobster, the scallops, all kinds of fresh fish. Then we would make our stop to the Salamania, where we got our meats for the antipasto, the gabagool, the cassata, the prosciutto, the Asiago cheese, all of that, but the one coveted stop I couldn't wait for was the Italian bakery. The glass cases where multicolored cookies beckoned. Red and green leaf cookies, sandwiched between chocolate, spritz of cookies, candied cherries on top, rainbow cookies, pagnolis of course, butter cookies with a drop of chocolate in the center and half dipped in chocolate. Red, white, and green rainbow cookies adorned the cases as well. Then we had our dates and our fig paste cookies. And of course our lemon squares. But that one soft, beautiful cookie, that ricotta cheese cookie, the ricotta cookie, that was one of my favorites. And today the Italian Americans keep with the tradition and make the same cherished recipes as their grandparents. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the ricotta cookie, a simple, elegant, classic Italian traditional holiday cookie. I'd like to go over the simple ingredients for the ricotta cookie. We have 4 cups of flour, we have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, we have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of good quality salt, and we have the zest of 1 orange. Can you see that? We have 2 room temperature eggs, we have a half teaspoon of vanilla, 2 cups of white granulated sugar, we have our 15 ounces of ricotta cheese, 2 sticks of unsalted room temperature butter, large preparation bowl. Grab your trusty wooden spoon. We'll all meet back in the kitchen and we'll make this beautiful, delicate classic. The first step to making the ricotta cookie is to sift the dry ingredients. Very, very simple cookie to make. We have 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm just putting the flour right over my sieve. I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of good quality salt. My preparation bowl like so. I'm sifting our flour like so. Make sure you get every last bit. The flour should look like that. Can you see that? We'll set our sifted flour aside. Time to add our zucchero means sugar, 2 cups of sugar. Next, I'm going to add 2 sticks of room temperature butter. And our butter has already softened, and I'm just going to cube it ever so gently, like so. Add that to my zucchero, my sugar, my butter, to my vanilla, right over the top. I use an electric mixer on low for about a minute and a half. Just incorporating the butter and the sugar. See the butter and the sugar with the vanilla coming together? It's time to add ricotta, our trusty wooden spoon. And I'm just going to pair out ricotta. And my ricotta, there's a little trick here. I did let it stand at room temperature, and I let it drain, and I did take away most of that liquid because I don't want to have a soupy, soggy cookie. I want to have a soft cookie. So I removed a bit of the liquid in which separated from the ricotta. I'm going to take the back edge of my spoon and just fold in the ricotta. Okay, so I've added the ricotta to the butter and the sugar. I'm using my good quality silicone spatula, maybe a minute and a half, just until it really gets nice and fluffy. Next, I'm going to add our 2 room temperature eggs right across the top of the ricotta mixture, followed by our arancia, also known as our orange zest. Make sure you have the zest of a large orange. I've seen it done with lemon too, but the orange is specifically the cookie that I remember my grandmother making. Next, we'll go back in with our electric mixer and get the eggs and the orange. It smells heavenly. We have our mixture. We have our ricotta all mixed nice and fluffy, and I just want to take my spatula and lift it so you can see the consistency. Can you see that? And next it's time to add our flour. We need our trusty wooden spoon. We're going to add our sifted flour in spoonfuls at a time. So I'd like to take this process nice and slow because this is the deciding factor on how smooth and delicate your ricotta cookie will come. About that much, take my spatula and fold my flour in by hand, and I'm working by hand here. Nice and easy. So just an electric mixer here. If you so choose to use your electric mixer, please do so. It's just really imperative that you don't over mix the cookie dough and just fold in the flour by hand until well incorporated. So as I continue to mix by hand, a couple of tips. One, this is work. Two, the ricotta cookie is a premium classic Italian holiday cookie. Number three, in purchasing your ingredients, I can't stress enough that you need to buy a good quality ricotta. You can't buy an inferior ricotta product because it will hold too much liquid, and even if you attempt to drain it, it's still not going to work well. So go for your premium whole milk ricotta. Allow it to sit in a colander and drain away any of that additional liquid. Trust me, you will be glad you did. We will bake our ricotta cookies on a parchment lined cookie sheet on 375, well between 350 and 375 for about 13 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven, or just until they're golden brown. This is the ricotta cookie dough. Today's recipe will yield about 5 dozen cookies. So our cookie dough, our ricotta cookie dough is all set and ready. I'm going to glove up, and as I do, I want to make mention of a couple of things. So traditional Italian Americans keep up with the tradition and make sure that the same cherished recipes as their great-grandparents, grandparents who came to the United States from Italy, all to honor our folks and relatives that came prior to us. It's very special for me to show you how to make the ricotta cookie because that is one of the first, besides the pizzeria cookie that I learned to make. Christmas time is always special. We shop early for our ingredients. We write our list. The recipe will yield 5 dozen. And I have just my regular old cookie sheet baking pan, and I already pre-lined them with my parchment paper. A little bit of cookie dough, and just place it right on top. And you should be able to see some of the orange bits in the cookie. You might note that the ricotta cookie will spread a little bit, so I do put them about 2.5 inches apart, and they'll bake at 350 for about 13 to 15. Nice soft texture. So it's good for anyone with sensitive teeth, or maybe your toddler that's teething, because it's easy on the gums and very, very easy to chew. For a sheet, bring it right up close. See that? Can you see the bits of orange? This recipe will make about 5 dozen ricotta cookies. First, I'd like to say hi to all my subscribers. Many, many, many thanks. We're growing as a channel, and we're continuing to grow, and it's super exciting. And I can't wait to share all my holiday cookies. I'll be certain to put a link here or here, and even here, of these in our already preheated 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes or until they're golden brown on the bottom.
Okay, let's take a look inside the oven just before we're ready to remove them. They're puffed up a bit, they're nice and golden brown on the top, or lightly golden brown on the top. And here we have removed them from the oven, and I have placed them on our cooling racks, and I will allow them to cool for a good 20, 30, 40 minutes. You can see how nice and tenderly golden brown they are on the bottom, and just pale yellow brown on the top. So we will allow them to cool, and then we will move on to decorating our 2021 Christmas cookies. Okay, you can see here I've parchment lined my cutting board, and that's a little kitchen tip for you. It aids in cleanup as you'll have your powdered sugar drippings fall onto the parchment paper. So we're ready, set, go. Okay, here we are back in the kitchen. We are full of the ricotta cookie. They have come down to a nice cool, and now it's our final step, and this is the fun step. You can invite the kids, and this is fun to do the decorating. It's had about 48 cookies or so. Cookies have completely cooled now, and we are going to make frosting, if you will. I'm going to start with about a 1/4 cup of our powdered sugar, and again, this is a very simple, easy frosting, if you will. I'm working with about a 1/4 cup of whole milk. It is cold. Out of that 1/4 cup, I'll probably use about 2 tablespoons. Depending on your consistency desire, you can make it a little thinner or you can have it a little thicker. And then at the end, we'll just sprinkle on some red and green everyday sprinkles I got at my local grocer, and I'm probably working with about maybe 4 or 5 tablespoons of each. So I'll leave some with just the white, and I'll do some with the red and green, henceforth red, white, and green, also known as the Italian flag, as well as Buon Natale, Merry Christmas colors. Yes, powdered sugar, about 1.25 cups, and I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon at a time, very, very easily. 1 tablespoon of whole milk at a time, fork, and I'm just going to incorporate nicely until I get that desired consistency. Less milk will yield a thicker type frosting. Nice and close. Make mention, the ricotta cheese, which is very traditional Italian cheese, is considered a sweet cheese or a light cheese. So this is an effective way to make a light and fluffy cake-like cookie. It's not going to be, this cookie's not meant to be hard like a biscotti. It's not a dipping cookie, truly. It's more of a cake-like consistency. Made here. It's nice and golden brown on the bottom and golden on the top, lightly golden, and drizzle. And I do work with a piece of parchment paper covering the cutting board. And I'm just going to ever so gently take my tablespoon and lightly drizzle our cookie. See that? And I just make little drizzle, Art Deco. Cookie isn't meant to have a lot of frosting, just take a pinch of my green, like so. And there's our first cookie. So our first one's green with a little bit of frosting. First Christmas 2021 holiday cookie brought to you by a chef called Rhonda. All right, that's cookie number 1. And so I'll do this right throughout the entire batch of cookies here until we have no more to decorate. A little trick too that I learned is if you just take your tablespoon, and you can kind of do it a little bit more quickly if you are working with parchment paper beneath your cooled cookies. You can just drizzle right across. Additional sweetness, because it's not a very sweet cookie. Be certain that your cookies have completely cooled. That way they will hold the distinct look of the glaze, of the frosting or the glaze. And these 3 are going to be a combination of red, white, and green in honor of our flag. Yes, well, our flag is red, white, and blue, but we honor the Italian flag as well as many other flags. And there we are. And Christmas is here. Look at that. Can you see those? And taking a small break from decorating our ricotta cookies, I wanted to say many thanks and a big hi to all my subscribers. Hi! I went to the World Market this weekend and I picked up another brand new trusty wooden spoon. Can you see that? I love our trusty wooden spoons. Anyway, I wanted to say many thanks for subscribing to A Chef Called Rhonda. Many, many thanks for watching A Chef Called Rhonda. Stay tuned because we have so much more to come down. And in the advent of the holiday season, it's going to be great fun. Any questions, any comments, please feel free, as always, to comment down below or email me. This recipe will be in the description box as well, scrolling at the end of today's cooking show. Thank you. Many thanks for watching A Chef Called Rhonda. If you haven't subscribed to A Chef Called Rhonda, please would you consider doing so? Thanks. It's always healthy, always delicious, and guaranteed always fun. There we have it. And there we have it. We have finito with our ricotta cookies. We have our beautiful holiday Christmas cookies all ready. Look at that. Can you see that? Can you see our ricotta cookies? Special time of the year. Buon Natale. It's the moment of truth. Let's try our ricotta cookie. First, let me break it open and let me bring it up close. Oh, golden brown on the bottom. Big bite. So good. The cookie is wonderful tasting. It's light, it's airy, it's cake-like, and it leaves your mouth saying, what is that? What is that special something? What is that special ingredient? And needless to say, it's the ricotta cheese. It's a perfect little cookie. Simple to make, easy to decorate. In no time, you'll have your holiday Christmas tray underway. Until we meet again, chin down. It's always healthy, always delicious, and always fun. Many thanks for watching today. A chef called Rhonda. Thank you. Until we meet again, salute, chindan, bravo, dolce vita. Ciao, bye, arrivederci.